Hey, what's going on, people? It's Gunsfire from NextGenTactics, and I'm gonna piss off some running gunners by showing people how to camp in active areas. Remember, a lot of this stuff that I show you is predominantly for beginners, people that don't know the maps, don't know how to manipulate around them, in first-person shooters or particularly Call of Duty that well in the first place. Because what happens is you just become a statistic. You just feed into these, skilled running gunners that know the maps very well, and it's not fair to you. And then when you try and sort of compensate for that, all they do is bitch and moan that you camped. Well, obviously, because they can't compete against most of the people that are skilled in this. So what I show you is key active areas that you can actually camp, and you know that they're going to be coming. Again, a lot of the stuff, too, that I'm showing you, I'll tell you right now. And here, I'm sound whoring again. This is exactly what I was talking about, although I mess up. The premise is basically you need to have a decent headset. You don't have to have the top of the line. I had Triton AX Pros, which are considered sort of top in terms of the Triton line, and the mic broke on it, and I had issues with it, so awesome sound, but finicky. And when you pay that much money, it would really piss you off. Make sure you get the warranty on it. That's all I can tell you. Make sure you get the warranty on those headsets. Right now I'm using the Astro A40s, which quite honestly are inferior in terms of sound, superior in terms of the build. Like, they're very, very rugged. I don't see these things breaking anytime soon, although I'm having some issues with the mic already. Kind of staticky a little bit. That's alright. It's another opportunity for me to get a decent headset. Maybe go back to the Tritons. I've heard they changed their mic from a solid one piece to a flexi piece. See, and this is the case here where sound whoring comes in handy. It's not always about knowing where they come, it's about listening. The reason these games, you can do extremely well in these games is particularly in Search and Destroy. If you pay attention and you have a decent headset, believe me, you will get a lot of kills from that. You can pinpoint where the enemy is around you, and having a decent headset, not just going off the the TV or whatever, because a lot of people will have that. When you're skilled, when you know the maps very, very well, the headset is irrelevant, especially in free-for-all. I mean, I sometimes, for shits and giggles, I'll actually mute the TV. I'll run around with absolutely no sound, but because I know where people are, because I know where spawn sites are, and I'm very, very comfortable with the actual maps themselves, I can run around and win matches doing that. But again, I'm talking, most of the videos that I'm showing you here, and this is old school NGT. If you're a skilled gamer already, if you're, I'm not putting these out for those people. I'm almost done doing that. If you want to go see fancy schmancy bullshit tomahawks across the map, go to some other person, or maybe even watch, well, I don't even think Spider-Bite does it. I mean, he rushes, but I'm going back old school again. I'm going back to old school NGT strategies and showing you this stuff. Like this building here, since we're on it already, this particular building structure in World at War on Knee Deep, and this particular map, is one of the absolute best places to hold. It's one of the best places in Search, best places in Deathmatch, and Free-For-All. That's because it's very, very limited in terms of how you can actually get up there. And I'm not even using Bouncing Betties. Now, normally, if you got Bouncing Betties, you're laughing. You got 2 Bouncing Betties. This is like uber easy to defend. You got Bouncing Betties. Those things are deadly. And even if they don't kill, what they do is they warn you that someone is approaching from where you actually placed it. And you would always use the staircase there because it's usually where most people will come up. Do I get this guy? Of course I get that guy. So just remember, the series that I'm showing you, I'm not here to dazzle you and show you all the crazy run and gunning. I mean, I can do that, but I can't teach you that. I can't teach you strategies on how to do that. You're going to be able to do that once you're familiar and you're comfortable with the maps. Once you're comfortable with the weapons and you understand how Call of Duty players game, then you're going to be able to do that. But until you do, allow me to show you areas where you're going to be able to take advantage of spawn areas and easily defend, and have these people, these other skilled people, but typically, I say skilled, but I use that very loosely, because if they were skilled, they wouldn't keep running into the same stupid things, running into your claymores, running into your Bouncing Betties. They would figure a way around it. But the case is that when I do show these areas like that building there, It's the same thing over and over and over again. Constantly running into the same thing and repeating it over and over again. So, you know, pay attention to what I'm showing you. After, when you get things like with dogs and stuff, like especially on Black Ops, I always talk about dogs, and this is a 7 kill streak. Once you have the dogs, then, you know, get a little more brave. Go out there and start running around. There's no need to defend, because those people are going to be running. They're going to be busy shooting the animals, and you're going to be able to score a lot of kills that way without having to sort of camp in a certain area. But just know that I'm always going to show that. And I don't give a rat's ass anymore about all the whiners. You can dislike and thumbs down it all you want. Don't care. I'm going to constantly show these things. I'm going to constantly show Call of Duty gamers, especially beginners, how to hold areas down and how to own run and gunners who think that, you know, the only way to play this game is to run around like an idiot with their head cut off. I can do that. I can run around and do that, but because I played it for so long, and that's all I do is I play, you know, Call of Duty all day long. So for me, it's easy, and for other people, it's easy. But for you, if you're struggling in this game, use the techniques that we show you, or I show you rather, and I promise you that your game will improve. And once you're comfortable with the maps, once you're at that level, then you don't have to do it anymore, and you can move on. Crisis. I don't think that... I don't know, maybe some of you love this map, but I don't know a lot of people that absolutely love Crisis. You know what I mean? It's a really big open map. Even though it's really big, it is well used. And by well used, I mean people use almost every aspect of the map. You know what I mean? Even the far back where the beach is, they use that area there. And I find that actually pretty decent, because when you're in Modern Warfare 2, a map like Fuel, you know, hardly anyone uses that where the rock is, unless they're a piece of crap glitcher and they're going in to do the rock glitch, which I'm not sure if it's fixed yet, but, you know, unless you're a piece of crap and you're going into there, not a lot of people go back there. The odd sniper, legitimate sniper, will go back there, but generally not. And I just find in Crisis, a lot of people will actually go in the back. Now, here's the spot in Crisis that I like. This is one of the best spots here, and especially if you have claymores. Yeah, you're gonna die. I mean, I'm not showing you flawless games. I'm showing you sort of games that, you know, using a decent strategy. Now, again, like I said, whenever all these videos are for beginner / intermediate, that sort of cusp, that transition area there. If you're advanced, you're not going to be doing this, because it's going to be boring, and it's more fun to strap on an MPL or AK-74U, which is what everyone's favorite, and go running around like a crazed maniac. And if you're skilled enough, you're going to own with that as well. But this, again, is for beginners. And I don't care if you think I'm teaching them badly. I'm giving them a hope in hell of actually getting kills, rather than doing what these run and gunners want, which is just go out and meeting them head to head and getting slaughtered by them. I don't think that's fair. I don't like that, and that's why I teach these techniques here. I try and bring balance to the bullcrap that's, you know, the atypical Call of Duty gamers are there. You know, thinking that they're the ones doing the 360. Hell, I don't like the people doing 360 no-scopes, missing and, you know, fucking up my search and destroy games. I don't like them, but, you know, whatever. Suck it up. That's the way it is. I just leave. I make sure I'm in a party of, you know, 5 other individuals that actually know what they're doing, or skilled quickscopers, you know, back in the day of NGT Elite. But I move very cautiously when I'm in this. I don't just run around willy-nilly. Although, you know, that seems a bit of a silly phrase, but there you go. And I try to maintain, and I try and stay in areas where I know that there's going to be a lot of transition traffic, either coming from there, coming from the back, and you've got to constantly be watching. Don't just sit in one area and hope to God that someone's coming through. The areas, and this isn't a recommended area, I'm just happened to be here. I was sound whoring a lot. I think the guy actually returns to the area and kills me. Look at that. See, now that guy, he's doing exactly, but he's in a stupid area. He's camping, and he gets kills, from me and other running gunners, because here's the thing, where he is makes no sense to be. It's incredibly dangerous and stupid, and he's obviously, you know, he's probably killed twice. But the problem is that it's a dumb area, and sometimes when you camp in dumb areas, which is a lot of times what newbie players do, People aren't expecting it. Run and gunners aren't expecting it. They'll get killed every time because they're like, wow, like, why was that person just sitting there? And it doesn't make sense. But the problem is that they won't survive. They may get 1 kill, possibly 2 kills, but that's it. They're not going to be able to hold that position. Where that guy was, he was totally exposed. There's no way that he could have hoped to have stayed there and gotten any amount of decent kills. Whereas what I'm showing you typically, and especially here, like if you've got claymores and stuff, you want to seal off. Now, where I'm located, there's 2 ways. This ramp that goes up, and I'm constantly listening and watching, and you've got a nice access point to the transition area there. A lot of people going back and forth, and because you're on the 2nd floor, you're elevated, you have a tremendous advantage. And then you've got this area here, which is a great path. A lot of people walking underneath, a lot of people going from spawn areas in the back and coming forward. You're going to get a lot of kills. So if you're looking for a place in crisis to do this sort of strategy, this is where you want to actually do it. Put the claymore down. It doesn't actually even really matter. You could do it on the ramp or the bridge that's leading to where I am. But the problem is that it's probably going to be easily destroyed and seen. So what I do is I place it on the sort of the curved natural landscape that comes up here. Very, very difficult to actually see that, you know, as they're whipping around the corner, and likely is going to kill them. Now, when I'm playing with this, I've told you before, I like using dogs. I like using stuff like spy planes because, quite frankly, a lot of the other kill streaks are not that effective. Like especially when you're playing free for all or anything like that. And here we go. We got the dogs, so it's pretty much done. When you get the dogs, feel free to just run around. I mean, it's pretty much over. The dogs will do a tremendous amount of work. They're going to be all worried about the dogs. They're not focusing on you. They're usually running away from these friggin' mangy mutts. So you can go out and explore, and that's an opportunity for you to actually, you know, engage in 1v1 run and gunning in a safe environment by still almost assuring yourself a win. So that's what I like to do on Black Ops. I like to do UAV, Blackbird, and then dogs. And remember, there's always a spot on every map that you can do strategic camping on. Peace.